and nothing stuck for longer than an hour,
Beautiful.
even a half hour.
Very good. Yeah, nothing stuck more than half an hour. It is okay to have an anxiety reaction, but faster it dissolves and I return to my higher level of awareness, which gives me that peace and the calm, is the right approach,
Yeah,
is the right thing to do in the life of a seeker. Are you doing the mala practice regularly?
yeah, every day.
Every day. So there are two practices. One that we have given previously, and the one is with multi-sensory mala practice. So multi-sensory mala practice means when you are feeling the sense of touch, when you see, when you say, we use the one motor organ, when you hear it, so all the senses join together in the mind, that takes your impulsive thoughts away. Today we are
Yeah,
going to discuss in detail about this default mind and the discerning mind. But don't forget to do the practice regularly. It is an enhanced meditation technique where we engage all our senses to one object. Normally, our scenario, if my eyes are open and so the eyes can see the clock, picture of my master, the wall, the light, the computer, the monitor, you, and the speaker. You see that wherever the eyes goes, mind goes with the eyes. So it's a multifaceted objective perception. And when you have five sense organs, each sense organ has millions of objects. And all the five sense organs have together have millions of objects, and now the mind is in an impulsive mode. Means what? It is not aware, it is habitual. Then what happens? It picks up those objects which carries the past impression. Past impression, cute and beautiful girl. Whenever I see you, I find cute and beautiful girl. So, because you told me. So, so now you see that even if you see the picture of a cute and beautiful girl, it already had a past impression where you had a frustration and anxiety and reaction. So, so now you see that my sense organ helps me to fall back into the impulsive mode. An impulsive mode, and the mood changes, and we start having a so-called stress, anxiety, duality in a control. Now, when we are doing this multi-sensory mala practice, mala means the rosary, mala, a mala practice where we engage the sight, touch, sound, and the speech during the meditation. You are educating the mind how to live in self awareness, how to live in calmness, how to live into that joy. It deepens your self awareness, and when it deepens your self awareness, it takes away the lack of self awareness, it takes away lack of thinking, lack of conscious thinking, and ultimately, our mind is not only educated, it learns to live at a higher state of consciousness. At least 10 years, I did the mala practice regularly without fail in the morning and evening. And the time came after 2 years, my mind said, "Do you have 2 hours?" Oh, yes, I have 2 hours. And it used to take 2 hours. Think of it.
Wow.
What it means 2 hours? That the mind is totally interested, committed, sincere, and then it used to get absorbed. So after 2 years, my mind says, "Oh, do you have 2 hours now?" Yes, I have 2 hours. Let me keep a window of another half an hour. And that gave me a deeper insight. That is the power. Don't leave any day, any single day.
How slow is that? Is that like, oh, Sean? I mean, how slow are you going?
Yes, you can imagine that the slow means more time. More time means the mind is engaged into that space for a considerable length of the time. And during that period, you don't have any thought except the mantra.
Are you also taking a longer space in between each Om Shanti? A longer pause?
Longer pause, gradually it comes naturally.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, you have to be deliberate, and after few weeks of the practice, it becomes so natural. So not only you hear Om, but you wait until the slower pitch in the sound you can hear, that becomes the pause. Shanti. Your mind also enjoys, so it becomes very almost. It becomes you become so much. Mind becomes so much deeply interested. So what exactly is happening in this journey? The default setting of the mind changes. So what is the default setting? Default setting is unconscious, is anxious pattern, it is habitual, it is impulsive, and so it is habitual, it is impulsive, so it has the habitual and unconscious and anxious thought process. So the default setting of the mind takes over life every day. Oh, if the default setting of the mind takes over life every day at personal, professional, social level, then that mind is always inside. It is hidden form of anxiety, reaction, blame, and complaint. Well, we suddenly become anxious and we suddenly become reactive. It is because of the default setting of the mind. But when we have a discerning mind, the opposite happens. You always have a pause. You have an understanding. You have, oh, let me first understand the situation and then I will respond. Default setting of the mind leads to forgetfulness, leads to anxiety, leads to impulsive reaction, leads to blame and complaint, leads to delusion, and then our mind overpowers. We become the victim of our crazy mind. That is where the anxiety, duality, and a conflict comes into our, and it creates. Do you remember the hamster wheel I explained you?
Yeah.
So then what have the state of the mind is characterized means what default setting of the mind is characterized by a hamster wheel of a repetitive unconscious reaction. I'm reminding you, don't be offended. At least, this, she should have sent me the text. It's a part of the hamster wheel. So, If you have a golden phone like Trump, then she could respond to you because you did not have the golden phone. You see, that is another set of hamster wheel. So in the hamster wheel, unconscious reaction, blaming, complaining, and anxiety, material is present, and it continues. What to do? We have a three-step learning framework. What is the three-step learning framework, which is commonly explained by all the masters for the last 10,000 years. Just before your session, I was telling the genius of these great masters when you did not have a print medium, any printing, you cannot write, you cannot print, so that the book can be passed on to the next generation 10,000 years ago. What they did, they created a pattern of how to remember. One, how to compress 10 principles or maybe 50 principles into a verse. And then they created that verse in a poetic form. Now they are ready. So a student comes, first they said you have to remember, you have to sing, your pronunciation in Sanskrit should be correct. And it used to take years. And after that, three-step framework. What is the three-step framework? I have repeated: listening and learning, contemplation and reflection, and practice and experience. I added fourth one: analyze every day your state of mind throughout the day, how many times you were into anxiety and how fast you recovered. So if you contemplate and reflect and you apply that wisdom every day in your life, and the life changes. What is listening and learning? It is so simple. I don't know, let me know it. So to say courageously, I don't know, we need a humility. Humility means the openness of the mind. Openness of the mind that what I know, that is not solved my problem of anxiety and suffering, I have yet to know. So when I have yet to know what I know, let me drop it. Let me listen to the teacher, let me listen to the principles of Eastern wisdom. And it takes years. It has taken 3 years for you also. 3 or 4 years, I don't know. So that I don't know, let me know it. You see, it contains many sub-principles. Then contemplation and reflection. Contemplate. I asked the questions on these principles. Subjective reality. What is subjective reality? How it is different from the objective reality? What is not self? What is self? Then we reflected. Can I get a glimpse of it? Yes, I can get a glimpse of it. So the intellect is now free from the doubt. I don't understand, let me understand. So when I don't understand, I have a doubt. So I understand. So understanding takes a time. What to do? Not only listening and learning, but after listening and learning, I have to raise as many questions as possible, summarize it, write it. When women, lives nearby you, she also attends the online sessions. She said, I know this couple many a times, but previously I had lot of reaction to that couple. And I met this couple last week, and then we decided to go to a restaurant. We had a good lunch, we had a good chat, and I returned home in peace. I went with him in peace. During the conversation and having a lunch, I was in peace. And I recognized that I did not have any expectations from this couple. So, so after 4 years, I'm now recognizing that if I communicate with the people without having any expectations, this is what you have told me, but it goes into my head after 4 years.
Mm.
Contemplation and reflection, after that, practice and experience. This listening, learning, contemplation and reflection, practice and experience, daily analysis, applying the wisdom, all comes under one word which is known as satsang. The literal meaning of satsang means company of the real. Company of what is real.
Mm.
Now go back what I was talking. So the masters created an encrypted verse which contains one folder, it contains many files. Only the teacher who is well versed with this Eastern wisdom can open these files. Otherwise, literal translation will not work. So what happened? So after, you can say that maybe after 2000 years, or maybe something like that, if I'm not mistaken, they started, there is in the Himalayan region and also in the Colorado, in the high mountain range, you have a long tree, I forget the name. So
The aspen?
Perhaps they peel the stem, and when they peel the stem, you have a long paper-like object, and they dry it out. And then they use the colors in a bamboo pen. They created the bamboo pen with like a small nib, and then they started writing on that stem sheet.
Mm.
So those manuscripts are still available.
Mm.
From that manuscripts, people have converted that into the books, and these books are available now. It means what a seeker learned 10,000 years ago, still learning the same thing. How relevant the teaching is.
Yeah.
So the 3-step framework has to be understood. And with that 3-step framework, if you practice daily, then you recognize there is a change in behavior and attitude. Change in behavior and attitude means that you are minimizing the events and moments of suffering in your life. That is the entire framework of learning. I just raised some of the questions today to strengthen your understanding. How do perception and projection relate to suffering? And how can one break free from this cycle? Perception is neutral. Factual observation of an external object, an event, anything. The weather is warm, weather is rainy, okay, everything is good. Projection is, oh, it's going to be rain, I get upset with the rain. Projection. Projection, however, is when the mind adds emotional layers of the past impressions, attachments, likes and dislikes to that perception. Cute and beautiful girl, yes, beautiful, I appreciate, I acknowledge, you are beautiful, you are good, thank you. At least I got an opportunity to appreciate the beauty, finished. But if perception becomes projection, if mind goes with the past impression, attachment, likes and dislikes to that perception, now problem who created the problem? Not the cute and beautiful girl. I created the problem because of my attachment, likes and dislikes. So it means what? I should remain check. Mind, where are you going? For a default setting with attachment and detachment? No, you have not to go there. You have to remain in perception. Is it beautiful? Yes. Let me acknowledge and accept it. Finished. But if the mind continues to think, it becomes attachment. You return home and your mind is still thinking about it. It's a foolish mind. I'm sorry to say. It's a foolish mind. Why it is a foolish mind? I become that observer. I become that thought. I become that attachment. I become that like and dislike. So we have to guard our mind by perception versus projection. Another question for you that I'm going to answer: what is the foundation step or foundation metaphor I discussed, and how does it emphasize the importance of inner peace? We think, we imagine, we fantasize, we project. I'm using different words. What goals in life will prepare a strong foundation in my life for peace and happiness? But the fact of the matter is, it is the goal of life. What are the goals in life? Goals in life is career, education, marriage, or divorce, or building your business, earning $50 million to $1 billion, etc., etc., having a prestige position, looking very smart and healthy. Nobody looks at you, you only look at yourself. These are the goals in life. How to recognize? You can easily recognize. It is a starting point, it is a finishing point. Career, starting point, finishing point. I got a job of the IT in this company. Boss is so crazy. Let me find another job. So starting point, finishing point. Marriage, starting point, finishing point. Finishing point whether you continue either with the marriage or you divorce. I eat a beautiful recipe as a starting point, finishing point. You cannot eat 24 hours. You cannot marry for 24 hours. Marriage ceremony is done for 2 or 3 hours. Divorce ceremony takes long time. That is also a ceremony. So these are the goals in life. It is a starting point, it is a finishing point. I have to earn $50 million. It took me 10 years and I have earned $50 million finished. I have another project, 50 to 1 billion or 500. So the goals in life are not the foundation on which peace, happiness, love and wisdom depends. Goal of life, masters say that goal of life. What is the difference between goals in life and goal of life? Goals in life, starting and finishing point. So you have many projects in the life. But goal of life is only one. What is that? How do you understand that? Do I want peace in the morning, not in the afternoon? Do I want Happiness in the afternoon, not in the evening? No, I want happiness all the time. Very good. That is your goal of life. But you cannot marry 100 times. Maybe 5 or 6 times if you have a habit of divorce.
Hmm.
But still it has a starting point, it has a finishing point. But when I say, do you want happiness in the morning, not in the afternoon, then again in the evening, not in the night? No, I want happiness all the time. So you want a continuity of happiness. Okay, I want continuity of that happiness. Continuity of happiness means what? It is a permanent state of happiness. Where it is located, Eastern wisdom says it is located inside you. You are of the nature of happiness. So one manifestation of the real self is happiness. So what question I asked, what is the foundation metaphor and how does it emphasize the importance of inner peace? You build a skyscraper without a strong foundation. What is that skyscraper? In that skyscraper, you are highly educated, you have a great position, that is your second floor. Third floor, you had a beautiful husband and a handsome wife. You have $50 million. You have a penthouse. These are different levels of your goals in life. Foundation is not there. Foundation of peace and happiness is not there. Nothing you cannot achieve anything. What is the foundation, the goal of life? What is that goal of life? Did I discover happiness within me? You have a strong foundation. Then build as many floors as possible. But we are apt to show people the external achievements, position, status, but internally we are suffering. Your friend, I told you, your friend, you remember that it's very serious. My wife is going to deliver baby, but you can attend the session. Come on. My master used to say, never disturb those people. You say yes to them. Leave them in their habitual and unconscious way of living. Don't disturb them. They will be frustrated by their own experiences and then they may return to the journey of the self-discovery. You see how difficult my job is, how challenging my job is in the modern world. Why it is difficult? So I have to leave. I need not to motivate and convince him that you please continue attending my sessions so that you can pay me. We leave. Okay, that's very good. Please take care of your wife, take care of the baby. So internally my mind says, okay, you are going to deliver the baby. Oh, that's why you are saying you're so, with a serious mood. Did you understand the metaphor? Skyscrapers, goals in life. Foundation, goal of life. I have to start with my peace and happiness within me. And then let me do whatever I'm doing. I have to do it legally and rightfully. It's okay. So there it will prepare a very strong foundation. What? Mala practice, the second practice that we did last week. A multi-sensory meditation technique to deepen your absorption and awareness. It will raise your level of awareness. Your mind will go to the foundation again and again. What that means, foundation again and again? You are talking to your client or a customer. You become aware. Peace is there inside, happiness is there inside. Yes. Let the existence take care of the client through me in the best possible way. Buy the property, don't buy the property is secondary. Forget about it. Let me put my best. Let the existence help me. How the existence can help you? It can only help you with the peace and happiness. But if you are totally attached, you have a strong likes and dislikes, you will come out with the responses full of reaction, emotional attachment, etc. You will be defeated. This enhanced mala practice will help you raise your self-awareness to that deep level of clarity and the peace and are you getting it?
Yeah.
So the base foundation is there. Last week I was there. Oh, sweet, pretty girl. She is medical assistant. She said, "You are okay, or should I take the blood?" I said, "You can take the blood, any amount of blood." What is the point of perception? Perception is such a small needle. Should I get scared of the small needle? People become so touchy and sensitive. No, don't touch me. No, it will pain. Do something. Don't come. Don't go to the doctor. Crazy guy. You don't have a foundation. I remember you asked me something. Do you remember? Many years ago.
Probably.
About COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
I remember.
You were for it.
Uh,
You were for the vaccine.
why not? We believe in smartphone, we believe in building our home scientifically, technically, with lot of instruments. Why not should I go for the vaccine?
Well, because, like, do you get a flu shot every year? I don't get a flu shot. I'm not afraid of the flu.
Very good. That's really good. So you maintain that level that you are not scared of the flu shot. But I normally get. Why I get it now? I did not get it in my young age. The moment I became senior, I said, body, this physical stuff is aging process.
Yeah.
So science says there is a more of catabolic processes than anabolic.
What's catabolic?
Catabolic, the destructive mechanism becomes more prominent as you are aging. In the young age, the anabolic process, you are full of energy and excitement, and so I said, okay, if the science says, let me take it. So I started taking the moment I became senior. Why not? Knowledge. Knowledge. If you don't take it and you are okay, you are not scared of it, you are okay, good. So I also never took it. So I was talking to you that we deviated from this text couple of sessions because of your questions and doubts, and now we are returning again. The text is the Bhaj Govindam, the first text. The first verse of that text gives you the message how to get rid of the foolish mind, and it has got only 31 verses. 31 verses. I have a little knowledge. I am a humble seeker in the journey of the Eastern wisdom. I can explain those 31 verses, which can be written in one A4 size paper in more than 1,000 pages. but it means that many great masters, my master can continue speaking. It can last for 10,000 pages. Why I brought up that verse, I told you 10,000 years old. The verse is created. It is a folder. Folder has many files, subfolders. Every subfolder has many files. So this text explores what types of delusion, what type of foolishness we have in our daily living, personal, professional, social, and family life. If we get rid of all those delusions, all those attachments, all those likes and dislikes, all those impulsive nature, we become a higher seeker. And when you become a higher seeker, the journey is easy. So we are returning again today, but it doesn't mean that you leave the mala practice, to mala practice. You have to do both. Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam. You know, I told you that this master made all the verses like a poem. So you can simply, it's a poetry. You can sing it. Why you sing it? Because it goes into your head and transcends to the heart. Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Mudhamati. Singing format is there. So, Sanaprapte Sannahite Kali Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukkhanna Karni Bhaj Govindam Bhaj Govindam. So you see the literal meaning of Bhaj Govindam. Bhaj Govindam. Pray and meditate on the highest existence. It may be supreme consciousness. It may be with an image. You may pray and meditate on the Jesus, but we will talk about it. Another meaning of the Bhaj Govindam is the Bhaj comes from the Sanskrit word which means bhanjan. Bhanjan means you destroy ignorance, you destroy delusion. What will happen to me, if I don't meet that boy and a girl, destroy that attachment. That is the meaning of bhanjan. So it has many cryptic meaning that we are going to Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Mudhamati. Mudhamati means foolish mind. Recognize your foolish mind. Why you are running after something that will give you happiness in the world? In the world, nothing can contain the property of peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. No, the phone. I love my phone. In Ukrainian session, what should I say? I volunteer that session. All these 25 women are there and 2 or 3 men are there. And the cat is jumping here and there. So last week I said, do you love yourself or do you love the cat more than yourself? I have to convey the masses. You should be focused on what I am talking. The cat is jumping and you go there to pick up the cat. Are you making fool of me? And if you love your cat, it's better to live with the cat. Make your life with the cat. I'm not against any pet, but it does not mean. So I asked them that, do you allow the cat to jump when you are driving? And the cat comes in front of your dashboard and it blocks the view? No, that we don't do it. I said this journey of the Eastern wisdom is much deeper than your driving. You are making love with your honey and you bring the cat in between. In the last session, I said that all cats are disappeared. So, Bhaj Govindam, it is a foolish mind. I should focus on what I'm doing. So, everyone, so that is the one message, first message in the first verse. And second message, how long you are going to be the victim of your default mind. How long? How long? Did I tell you about the story of this 70-year-old woman, senior?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel very calm and relaxed, as if you are appreciating me. I don't care your appreciation. I know these principal words. I asked her a question that how long you have been into this anxiety, how long you are going to create a conflict with people since your childhood until now. Are you ready to drop this mind? You are dropping people, one group of people, you had a reaction, you pick up second group of people, you react, you pick up this third group of the people. It is the foolish mind. You are doing repetition again and again. And you are blaming the people that these people are not good. That is why I react. Eastern wisdom says suffering is internal, it is not external. That people said you nasty thing, it is a statement, it went into your mind, the mind gave a wrong interpretation, then you reacted. You had a choice not to react. You reacted because of your default setting of the mind. And that you have been repeating for how many years? 70 years. Oh, 70 years. And then you think I'm very wise. She told me that I started guiding them, but they did not listen to me, and then I got angry. I said, did I get angry? You have been learning for the last 3 years? Eastern wisdom is very authentic. It finds the cause and effect. It is very scientific, provided one is ready to listen with the humility. So the Master says in this verse, how long you are going to suffer. And at the time of the death, you will say, I am still suffering. God will say, now enough is enough. I sent you in the world to live in happiness, and you created suffering to yourself. Now I have no solution but to take you to hell, not to heaven, to hell. So I created the hell because of my default setting of the mind.
Yeah.
That we need to understand. So don't go into the religion which says, you have a big bowl where the olive oil is boiling and you will be put into the oil. That is your hell. No, forget about it. When the default setting of the mind, the impulsive nature, with a strong attachment and detachment, with a delusion, you start living your life. You have already created a hell in this very life. What to talk about? The hell that all the religion talks about. It has nothing to do with it. I have to I have to be aware. I'm summarizing everything so that I can start with the next verse in this chapter.
Hmm.
So I make it very clear the default setting of the mind, unconscious anxious pattern, I consider it is real, attachment, I consider it is real, expectations, I consider it is real. I just had a thought in my mind. I expect to have a latest smartphone. Why? It will make me happy. Very good. So let me get you a phone. You get the phone. Next week you say that I am stressed. No. Think of the smartphone that makes you happy. Love it, touch it, embrace it, and get happiness.
Hmm.
Expectations has no life. The moment you expect, your expectations are met, mind moves to another expectation. Why? Because the mind says you are fulfilling my expectations and you become the victim of your mind.
Yeah.
Did you understand that point?
Yeah.
Same thing applies with the car and the house and the clothes and the food and a long list. That is the nature of default setting of the mind. If I don't have a discerning mind, if I don't understand the Eastern wisdom, you study Eastern wisdom to study yourself. To study yourself, I have to study my mind first. I have to study my mind to recognize it is a default setting of the mind, it is a discerning mind. I have to separate the two. Default mind causes all kinds of anxiety and the suffering. Discerning mind makes me free. Same example, expectations. Discerning mind says, so you expect to have a smartphone to make you happy. The discerning mind says, okay, you have the resources, I will get you the smartphone to make you happy, but would you tell me, is happiness is the property of the smartphone? How many people having the latest phone are really happy?
None of them.
So if you are a seeker, you go deeper. No, I have to ask a few more questions. If happiness is not the property of the smartphone, then why my mind is seeking that happiness by having the latest phone? Is it a delusion? So then you contemplate and reflect what exactly is the delusion means. What appears true is not true. What appears true? That the phone contains the property of happiness, but it does not contain. My mind has created a layer of that happiness, superimposed a layer of happiness, the way sand and the sunlight creates the water in the mirage. Mirage is not true. Happiness is not true. No, I want to know further. So the more you reflect, this is what the reflection is. When you contemplate and reflect, then you have a smile on the face. Oh, the happiness is not the property of small. It is my delusion. So what should I do? Yes, it gives me few more options. So do I have the resources? Yes. If I buy it, it will not create any problem in my financial life. No, let me have it. Finished. But not seeking happiness there.
Hmm.
My friend, that also applies to marriage. Get married soon. as fast as possible. No, I don't find you good. So you have a criteria. How many criteria? List them. I already told you the story of my friend who has 32 criteria.
He only had 30.
And what happened to that guy? But now he is happy. He got remarried to someone else and he has 2 kids. We communicate weekly.
That's good.
So we understood. I gave you a couple of examples of the default mind with reference to this text. So I made it very clear the 3-step learning framework of the Eastern wisdom. I opened up that, giving an example of the verse, and I have to contemplate and reflect. Then perception versus projection. I gave you the foundation metaphor. Foundation metaphor. In Japan, you know that all these buildings are built, they are foolproof from the earthquake. So it means they pay too much attention on the foundation. Eastern wisdom makes us foolproof. I am in peace, yes, with you. You reject me, I'm still in peace. Foolproof. Foolproof.
Yeah.
Foolproof from the earthquake of reaction and anxiety and challenges. These challenges, anxiety, duality, conflict enters in our life because of the default setting of the mind. Because default setting of the mind is there because I am more concerned about the skyscraper without building the strong foundation of my life. Peace and happiness is within me, the goal of life.
Yeah.
Suffering is a personal choice. What? Suffering is a personal choice, yes. I make a choice by default setting of the mind, claiming I am searching what is real. Suffering is there. When you are searching only what is real, the suffering flees from your life. My master said to his, I was not there, it happened in 2012, I reached late. So I'm going to leave this body, no one is going to cry. I know after I leave the body, you will put my picture in your home and you will say what kind of a great master I had the fortune to meet. I don't approve it. I don't approve. Then what should I do? You have to listen to what I said. You have to live my teaching. Don't pray and meditate and worship. So he left, and then normally what happens when you reach to that state of monkhood, that state of enlightenment, he said, let this let this dead body be used for some good purpose. So what to do? You create a wooden box, put that body and dip into the Ganges river, which is flowing nearby in the Himalayas. So what will happen? That body will rot and ultimately the fish and other animals will eat it. Finished. But what struck me, he said, live my teaching. So I said, okay, that is the wonderful message. That struck me, that inspired me. Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam. We have a second line, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukrunna Karune. A repetition by the default mind will cause you suffering not only today but tomorrow, day after tomorrow also. How come? When women told me my husband is crazy, I said yes. Yeah, normally husbands are all crazy. And they are the special beings. God has made them crazy. That is how they become husbands. He said, are you kidding? I said, no, I'm very serious. But how do you say that? Because I'm also crazy and I'm also husband. I want to ask you a question. She said, what is that question? I said, how many times you say your husband is crazy in the last 6 months? Almost I think of that 100 times every day. I have a feeling, or I have a gesture, I have an expression. So I said, you are very honest. So 100 times repetition that your husband is crazy, you have a sense of reaction, emotional reaction, every day 100 times for the last 6 months. How much poison you have accumulated in your life. She is very wise, she is intelligent. She said maybe millions of times. Now, with that set of mind, you are asking your husband to change. It is not possible. What should you do? Change yourself. What? I said, drop everything. Let your husband be crazy. Who cares? You change yourself. You make your mind, move your mind from the default to the discerning mind.
Yeah.
You continue the practice and see, you will be surprised. You will see the best and most beautiful points and attitude in your husband. With that, you start working. With that, you start working, you will find you have found the goal of your life.
The funny thing is, guys say that their wife is crazy. Wives say that their guy is crazy. It's the really